So, my dear Libra, the sun now is in Leo, giving you the power of the sun because Leo is ruled by the sun. And so the sun is at home, or Leo is at home, whichever way you want to see it. And the power here of the lion calling into the left, which is a perspective from the outer vision, right? I look at the card and I see that he is calling into the left, into the intuitive, into the soul, to the new moon, which we're going towards. And of course, when we become the card, then I see that he's calling to the right. So there's within the card two ways of being the card. And one is I look at it, and one is I become it. Now, Leo is giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And it's almost like he's calling you. He's like, where are you? Come on. I need you. What's going on? Right? And so it's really beautiful because we see here now the 8th and the 11th major arcana, which is the soul's expression in each zodiac sign. And we see here a date, the 11th of August or the 8th of November. Now you, of course, are ruled by Venus. And Venus is that beauty, is that love, is also money, is the relationship, is communication, is wanting to be in an equal connection to your partner. And that's why you are between two pillars, and that's your mission, to find the balance between these two cups. And so it's important for you to understand that cups are always emotions. And it's really clear that you have the stream of consciousness when you bring yourself as much as possible here into the center, into the spine, where we are connecting to the higher consciousness. So just observe, right, how all of this is coming at you today, because today the moon is in your sign, and I do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign, so you get the reading after. And it's important to me for you to understand that I do not read the future. Everything is now, always now, right? And so whenever you get a reading at that moment, it's for you important to see that message. So this just for today. If we of course include other planets, then this moment exists not only once a year, but maybe only once in your life. Again, here Leo has, for me in the yoga tarot, the lion pose, simhasana, sticking the tongue out, roaring and creating noise. In your deck, Leo looks like this, and he's not looking to the left, he is looking straight at you. So, observe. Then for you, I created, of course, here the balancing on the tiptoes, hands in Namaste or Anjali Mudra, and the sword pointing at the third eye, the yin and yang, the people down here, and this big energy that is above us, right? When we look at the moon, I see the constellation Libra behind it. When I look at the sun, I see the constellation Leo behind it. And this is what we're going to understand, is that the earth is actually spinning around the sun, and the moon is spinning around the earth. And so just understand that you are Libra, the beauty, the one that loves beauty, the one that really searches for beauty. And as such, you're the Queen of Swords here in the Golden Dawn Tarot. is your birthday between September 12th and October 12th, then is she your court card? If not, you can look in the description below. I have listed the dates. So maybe you want to look for the court card in the previous video or in the next, right? Because they're not the same than when the sun is in the zodiac sign. So just have a look at that. And you see she is very tough. She is really the one that cuts heads off with her sword. And again, remember, you see that she is slightly looking to the left, but if you become her, you see she's looking to the right. And she's always looking at the sword. Yes, she did cut that head off, and it's just the ego that she is taking away, because she is air and water, because she's a queen. She's connected with the element water, and as a zodiac sign or as an element, you are then air. So air and water is, of course, why you are able to sit here on a cloud. You're the seventh zodiac sign, and as such then connected to the seventh house of love and relationship. And you see here, very beautiful, how two people come together and create a diamond above them. And that's what I think is what a relationship is about, right? When we come together and we create a diamond, that's really something that's everlasting. You need a diamond to cut a diamond. Good. Back to the last reading, we had Cancer Sun giving Libra Moon the light. Dare to love others the same way you're learning to love yourself, right? Everything is a learning process. Everything is cyclical. Everything is spinning. And we cannot stop that. And so I include the last reading because it's important for me to see if there is a reoccurring card, if there's anything that I can dock on, if it's continuing. And as such, I understand that maybe there is still something from the last reading coming into this month, right? It's always like 1 month you have the message which you can work with. And now this is a new moment because you have now Leo, and before you had Cancer. And so it's a total different energy. Cancer is water, Leo is fire. And so you getting that push, you getting that call of this beast, of this wild side deep within you. And so dare bring it out. Okay? Good. The moon, remember, is your subconscious and is also all those feelings that are there to be observed. And of course, the sun is your personality, is that which we show to the world, to the outer world. So it's almost like the sun is the outer perspective of a human being and the moon is the inner perspective of a human being. And so we're going to look at the Venus perspective, right? Because Venus is the Empress. So the Empress is one station. Then we're going to look, of course, at justice. Remember, justice doesn't exist. That's a man-made word. That's coming from Aleister Crowley. He says that nature just is, right? And does. And there's no justice in nature. And then, of course, we're going to look at the moon and at the sun. And so I begin here with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is that physical expression of yours, right? And that's why it's important for you to look which date you're born in. And if it's not the Queen of Swords, if it's the Knight of Pentacles, then of course it's the reading before, and after it's the King of Cups. So on the position of the Queen of Swords comes the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is, of course, always that moment where I look back at my work situation and I re-evaluate it, and you immediately get a 7-7 portal. 2 times the 7 is be creative in the way you understand your crown chakra, in the way you understand the emotional intelligence that came from the last reading right there, to love others the same way you are learning to love yourself. We're all here to walk each other home, and in that walking each other home we re-evaluate ourselves. And so 2 times the 7 is very clear. You need to be creative, you need to allow the duality, evaluate the understanding of the 7 of Pentacles, because this is connected with the constellation Saturn in Taurus. And Saturn in Taurus is like, oh, what have you done in this world? What have you brought into this world? Saturn is ruling Capricorn, and Capricorn is the career, right? And Taurus are the banks and the finances. So look at it. And you have here this beautiful arrangement of 3-3, and that's of course Moon in Taurus. And Moon in Taurus is this, like, I give equally and I take equally. And you have in the center that one coin that is reminding you, hey, that's the holy coin, that's the holy money. But here the 7-7 is very clear, giving you a portal straight away. And so observe what this portal does to you, right? And in the finances, in the understanding of, hey, I need to create financially a stability, financially maybe even a higher consciousness that is bringing you now here the understanding money is important, money is in an equilibrium, right? And you see here the 2 pillars, and you see the spine here in the center. And where is the 7th coin? It's, if we place it next to it, it's at the position of the heart, right? Where the stream of consciousness is coming to you. And here is the 2 pillars again recreated with the 3 and 3 coins. So see that, understand that, and learn what this means. And then we're going to look at the Empress. Empress is Venus. And here the deck for the Empress is here Oswald Wirth, and he is bringing you the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is very interesting. A lot of people are like, okay, what's going on here? And you see here the 7 cut off branches up to the foot, and it's again the 7 chakras, right? And he is hanging here, and he is actually letting you know you're in a pre-stage of becoming enlightened. And of course we see the 12, we see the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, we see the 2, which is of course the High Priestess, which is the Moon. And so we understand that then together we get a 3, and the 3 is here the Empress. And so when you understand this and unite the 10 and the 2, you getting the 3, and then you have a 3-3 portal here. But you see here again these 2 branches, or these 2 stumps, right? And it's again this, like, these 2, this is the duality that we're learning here in this dimension. We need to understand that duality is a game, is a play, and in that play we need to liberate ourselves. We need to always come into the center spine where the Kundalini is rising, right? And so he's losing the money, but it's kind of like, it's almost saying, well, if you hang yourself upside down, then it's important that you let go of where the money came from. And so it's really interesting. So there are 5 coins, and here are 5 coins. So there are 10 coins, and the 10 coins here are always the 10 minor arcanas. And you understand that the money that you are losing, you're never really losing it. It's going back to the earth, and that's the message here. Connect on a spiritual level in such a way that you know that the money that you're making will need to go back into the earth. You need to reinvest into the good of the earth. If not, we just exploit it, and we see it already. So the 12 and the 3, if I don't calculate the 12 together, then you're in the 15, and the 15 is the devil. Is you cut yourself off sometimes from the success or from the source, right? Or you're attached to it. You are hanging here, and it's important that you understand. But then you get the 6, and the 6 is love. The 6 is self-love, which came dare to love others the same way you're learning to love yourself. How do you love yourself? What are you doing about it? Then I want to see, of course, what your deck is bringing, and you get the Hanged Man twice. So the message is clear. You really need to let go. And he's actually looking over to him. It's very interesting, right? Because we're going to the left, we're going to your new moon, which you have in your opposite sign. And so here you have the deeper understanding of that the Hanged Man, which is Neptune, and Neptune is ruling Pisces. So there is a Piscean energy that is telling you, hang yourself upside down. And what's really funny, this morning I hung myself upside down. I have from Iyengar yoga the belt to hang myself upside down. And so it's really, really interesting, because I see myself right now here in this reading. It's saying, yeah, if you want to create a new form, you need to once in a while hang yourself upside down. So you have a 3-3-3 portal. Look at this. I mean, it's like, this is powerful, right? This is the third chakra. This is saying 3 times 3. It's there is the empowerment in hanging upside down, in letting go, and in seeing that actually here, this cave that we see here is the letter Mem, and it's the Hebrew letter for ocean. And so you see the halo, you see that he is just about to get enlightened, just about to wake up, because this is the pre-stage to the 13. And the 13 is, of course, Scorpio, is the death card, is that I am really realizing something, because you are heading to the left, and when you go to the left, it's like you are taking the path back to your new moon, right? Because this is why we're going to the left. And so understand that. And after your new moon reading comes Scorpio, and so maybe this is letting you know you are actually coming to a place of realizing something. But very important is you have the 3-3-3 portal right here. Then I wanted to see what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing. It's bringing you the Sun to the left. And the Sun to the left is pointing at this Hanged Man. And it's letting you know the Sun is coming. And when the Sun is actually here in Pisces, because this is Neptune, Neptune is ruling Pisces, right? That you are understanding something. And so this is indicating that when the Sun is in your sign, then there is gonna be a big shift, a big change, right? In the month of October, when Sun and New Moon are both in your sign, and you see that here the Sun is bringing the people and the animals together, and they're celebrating, but it's slightly to the left, and so somehow you're not really convinced yet that there is something big coming to you, because 2 times the Hanged Man, it's like, wow. And so here comes the 19. There's Jupiter in it, and the 9, the Hermit in it, and Hermit is ruled by Mercury. And the 10 is left, right? And so I leave the 10 because we have here 3 times the 3. And so that's a portal in itself. But if I calculate it together, we get the 9 and we get the 10, and the 9 is the 19 and the 10 is left. A new cycle will happen to you and you will awaken to it. Wow. Good. Then we look at the Justice card, and Justice is bringing you here the Two of Cups. Now the Two of Cups is Venus in Cancer, and you had Cancer reading last time, right? And I do not see any Two of Cups in there, but I do see the Magician, I do see the Two of Swords, and I do see here the Six of Cups. And so learn to understand that you maybe remember a love, how love feels, right? Look at this. This is so beautiful, right? We again have here a cup and here a cup. Then it's connecting here the two dolphins. And there's always one lotus flower above. Again, this is the spine. And here is where it's happening. And you are understanding that this is the 2nd of November or the 11th of February as a date, right? Because you can see there is maybe something happening in the aspect of a relationship, in the way you love, in the way you really truly love yourself. And then the right partner appears, right? Then I wanted to see what is Leo saying, because Leo is giving you the light. And the Three of Pentacles is coming. And here the Three of Pentacles, you see this woman standing here like a statue, and she holds 3 coins, and 1 coin she holds up, 1 is at her chest and 1 is down here at her feet. And it's kind of like the 3 and the 7 is 10 coins, and 10 coins is a lot of money. But you need to unite this. You need to build something with what you have built already to make more money. And that's what the 10 of Pentacles is. That's Mercury in Virgo. And so understand that. So the love for what you're doing, the love for yourself will create more money. But you also had here the 2 times 12. And it's like a 3-3-3 portal with, again, the 3 of the Empress. So you have 4 times the 3, and that's the heart. And it's almost saying, yeah, in your heart, you need to love yourself. Then things just appear and come. Now here, the 3 and the 2 is a 5. And then it becomes the 11th of May or the 5th of November as a date, right? Where you maybe recognize that this is Mars in Capricorn, and Capricorn again is career, is the money, is how I build something. I cannot build something alone. I need help. I need other people. So choose wisely, choose the right people that help you to do what you maybe want to do. Now then, what I see here with the Mother Piece where we get the High Priestess to the right. And so here comes a 2-2. And the 2-2 is, the 22 is a portal. And the 22 is connected with planet Uranus. And Uranus, of course, is ruling Aquarius. And Aquarius is that moment where we recognize that a star is born, right? That's being in the air, being in the sky, being not the Queen of Swords, but the King of Swords. It's almost coming and saying here, you gotta recognize a new beginning, because Uranus is the Fool, is a total new beginning, because the Fool is 0, but there are 22 major arcana, so it's switching. And so the message is clear. You have here a 22, you had now 4 times the 3, and here you have the date, the 11th of March or the 3rd of November. right? And so here you can see that the High Priestess is letting you know, be intuitive, be creative in the way intuition is talking to you, be intuitive in the way love will come to you. And it's such a beautiful message. Then we look at the moon, and the moon is bringing you here the gathering around the power of the community. And it's the 26. And the 26, of course, is then the 20, the last judgment, which is Pluto. And Pluto is actually going into Aquarius, right? And Aquarius is always that moment where we notice that something is shifting within us, and this is where the 22 comes in. The 22 here is Uranus, and Uranus is, of course, then here connected with Aquarius, and the 20 is the community, is that in the community we will understand ourselves better, right? Because Pluto is going into Aquarius at the end of November for 20 years into Aquarius. And so through these new gatherings, through the people that we meet there, we will recognize that we can be authentic. And so the 6 is the love, right? And for me, love now becomes more to be authentic. Now the 18, again, we have here the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 8, the strength to really be yourself, also in your subconscious. It's almost like the lion is calling always the subconscious, right? It's always letting you know, look deep into your subconscious. And then the 9, of course, that's the Hermit. That's that inner knowing, that inner wisdom, the completion. And then, of course, the 18 calculated together, we get the 9, and the 9 is, of course, the Hermit, the opposite sign of here, Pisces. So we have the 9, and the 9 plus the 8 is the 17, the age of Aquarius, right? So it's kind of like saying here you find the people where you feel comfortable, where you feel good, and the 8 is left. What is bringing your deck? The 3 of Pentacles again. Now you had the 3 of Pentacles through Leo, and you have the 3 of Pentacles through you. And so it's a very clear sign is that find the strength in your beingness, in being justice. Find the strength through Leo to do what needs to be done when we build something through Mars in Capricorn with other people in this community, because this community can help you to build something. And again, we have the 3, and the 7 is the 10. Then you make money. Through that community, you can make money. And so altogether, we have 13 coins. And 13 coins is Scorpio, is the death, is the transformation, and the 4 is left. And understand the 4 is the Emperor. And in the Emperor, we come to an understanding, I can rule. With money, I need to rule, I need to be connected, I need to understand how this communities function. Are they accepting me? Are they accepting me because I have money? Are they accepting me just because I am the way I am? What's going on, right? And so have a look at that. And so now the 8 and the 3 is an 11. And of course the 9 gives itself up, right? But if I calculate it together, we get actually here a 20. And again, that's Pluto coming into Aquarius. And so what is the Mother Peace Tarot saying here? We get the Star, reverse. And it's almost like you are not believing that you can be shining like a star in this community, because she is in a bath, she's taking her time out, and he is healing herself. Here we have the Pleiades, and we have a hawk flying above her. And so this is the 7 sister stars, right, up in the sky, and the card came reverse. And it's always interesting, right? The round cards, this is the explanation of what's really going on here. And it's actually, I cannot manipulate these because they're round, and so it's really interesting how precise actually the explanation here is. And it's kind of like you are not seeing that in this community maybe you can make money, even though Pluto is going into Aquarius, and Aquarius is coming, and it's almost like you thinking, well, I'm not sure if this is the right place for me, because it's almost like you are not able to heal yourself there. And so the 17 and the 3 is the 20, right? And the 20 again is the last judgment, which is Pluto. And here the 8, the 20 and the 8 is the 28, and the 28 is the 10. A new cycle again is coming here at you, and of course you have the 9, which gives itself up. And so learn to understand the 10. Learn to understand that then the 10 and the 9 is a 19, and that's the sun. The sun is literally saying, yeah, remember, I came up reverse with the 2 hanged man, right? So actually look at that and see how that makes you feel with all these informations. It's very intense sometimes, right? I think a lot of people are like watching my videos and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? It's so much information. But you have a whole month to work it out, right? That's why I'm doing the readings the way I'm doing it. And so, you know, I'm not doing it for clicks. I'm doing it because I want to do these readings. Now we're looking into the sun which is in Leo, and you get the healing. Look at that. You get the magic, you get the alchemy, you get the 43, and that's a 7. So again here, a 7-7 portal. You're learning, you're understanding that here the 7-7-7, 3 times the 7, become powerful in using your crown chakra, in using the healing, and in combining the Emperor and the Empress. So here's Venus, and of course here's Aries, and Aries is Mars. And Mars, of course, came up here through the 3 of Pentacles twice, right? And twice a card means have a look. Twice a card means you need to understand that you have 5 times the 3. 5 times is you need to speak about what you want to do with this idea, right? With this building something here in this community, in this gathering around, in the power of the community, and understand that maybe this community is good, right? Because the 3 came next to it. And even though this came upside down, it's kind of like, well, then turn it around. You have the power to turn something around. And then the healing comes. When we do something really out of conviction, right? Then the 7-7, 3 times the 7, it's like then you find your true power in the way you heal people, in the way you using this magic, and it's important. So what's coming from Leo is the 9 of fire, and that's Moon in Sagittarius. And Moon in Sagittarius is saying, well, you, no matter how difficult it is, you gotta take action. You gotta take steps to do what it takes to do. And so here the 10 and the 7, remember, is the 17. So you can shine in this community. You can heal in this community because the 17 here creates the 8. And the 8 and the 9 again is the 17. And so the 17 is very clearly letting you know you need to understand the 17. You need to understand what it means to be a star, because the sun is a dwarf star. And so shine, shine. That's what Leo is calling you. Leo is like, shine, do it, go for it, right? And so you see how clear the message is, right? And you see how everything is interconnected. And of course, the 7 and the 9 is the 16. And the 16 is Mars. And Mars is ruling the Emperor here in the 4, right? To be able to be an emperor, you also need to let go of things. You also need to let things fall apart. And the 7 is left. So the 7-7 here is very clearly letting you know you need to understand the crown chakra. You need to understand that that's where the crown sits. That's why it's called crown chakra, right? And so the emotional intelligence that we need and that you got from Cancer Sun back then is very clear, pushing you forward. And so what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing to you? It's the Sun of Cups to the left. And to the left, it's saying here, here. Even though you've been hurt, right? That's what actually moon in Sagittarius means. But the 9 is like 9 wands, right? There's a completion in it. And you're standing still very clearly in the way you using the teachings. You're using your magic. You're using your healing hands. It's becoming an interesting perspective now that you really need to heal, because this is Pisces. And this is the 12th zodiac sign. And guess what? Now you have 3 times the 12. 12, 12, 12, right? And now here in this deck, we see him playing the flute. He is the one that is actually using also here the medicine of this flower. And he is in the meditation, and it's kind of like the 9 and the 12 is the 21. And the 21 is the world. The world needs you, even though you've been hurt, even though certain actions didn't really maybe come to fruition, but you have the courage to continue. You have the courage to believe in the star that you are, the star that came reversed, the star that came also through the numbers. So do it. Because when you do it, right, you have the 10 and here the 7, you see that the 17 is here and the star is here. So if you want to be a star, you need to do what needs to be done. And so now I can put the 9 here as a closing of the reading. And you see the 9 and here the 7. It's kind of like believe in yourself and know what you have done, and that will catapult you forward. And so see that the 9 and the 7 is the 16, the 7 is left, the 7 and the 3 is the 10. The 10 and here the 10 is the 20, right? And it's kind of leading towards when Pluto is going into Aquarius, everything is going to change also in the money. So observe and watch and see that you can take care of yourself, that you can take care of what is talking here, because I can also do the 7, right? And I leave the 9, the 7, and here the 3 is of course the 10, and here the 10, right? The 19 is the 10. Then I have a 10-10 portal, and that's like an 11, a 1-1. And so you pick how you want to understand, how you want to calculate these numbers together. I'm just like explaining to you what I see here, but you need to put your story in there. And so your story, it's like you need to continue. Whatever it is, you have the power to continue. You have the power to walk the path of love, right? To walk the talk and heal, no matter what group is there, no matter who is here, because you understand you are the 7. You understand that you bring beauty and love into people's lives, even though you're sometimes brutal, you cut their head off, but that's okay. It's the ego that needs to go. And so remember, the 7 here is the crown chakra, and we understand that in the 7 is the healing, in the 7 is the portal to a higher consciousness, and you see that. That's why he's wearing this headpiece. Here is the light coming down, right? And so you are a healer, and continue healing, because apparently you need to actually execute that out in the world. And no matter what is here, as well as the 22, remember, you are the one that breaks the stereotypes. You are the revolution. You are the one that's bringing the people's energy into a higher consciousness. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get, of course, the sun in Virgo, and Virgo is the number 9. So see a little bit here that Virgo is talking to you through the 9. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.